think it's supposed to be like an enemies to lovers kind of a deal, but you're not really enemies. But in the beginning I was like, how is this gonna, what? How does this work? So this cover lied to me. So, a study in drowning. Where do we begin? So we have Effie and we have Preston. Basically, I think we were just following through Effie's point of view, I think. If we didn't, I have forgotten. Anyway, so we have Effie and Preston. They are rival students, although they are technically studying two different things. So Preston is a literary student, and Effie wants to be a literary student, but for some reason, women can't be literary students, or something like that. So she's studying architecture, was that it? Effie also has this very tattered copy of a book, her favorite book, which is basically a book about a girl who falls in love with a fairy king and then manages to, you know, I guess destroy the fairy king is one way to say it. A human girl manages to destroy the fairy king. That's basically what that book is, and it's her favorite book ever. Then one day, the not the author, but the estate of the author. I'm not completely sure I understood what was happening here, but it was something like they were, I guess, a competition of sorts where they wanted this architecture to come in and change things around the house or something. I honestly didn't understand that part at all. Well, I understood it, I just didn't follow it. It just didn't make sense to me. Not a whole lot. Anyway, so she kind of gets invited there to do that thing, and Preston is there as well. But his reason for being there is to disprove the author of the book. Her favorite book, Effie's favorite book, he's there to disprove it. So this apparently makes them enemies. I'm sure. There were lots of little things that are like, you're not really enemies. I think it's supposed to be like an enemies to lovers kind of a deal, but you're not really enemies. Anyway, that's that. So basically, yeah, that's the book. That's about it. So the book in itself was quite slow for like just about the whole book. And I kept wanting to get to something, and I didn't really. But, I mean, we do have a bit of a revelation towards the end, where basically women, female empowerment kind of a deal, I guess. But I also don't understand where this book is supposed to be, because it's supposed to be the first in the series. So what the hell is book 2 gonna be? Because I feel like we just wrapped up this book, and I don't know where it's gonna go. I don't know. I don't think this book was for me. At least it didn't give for me what it was supposed to be given. I don't know. But basically, that was this book. The writing is good. Don't get me wrong there. I do like her way of writing. It's just that I feel like I'm lacking description, and some bits were a bit too long. And when I say I like her way of writing, I like the way she describes things, but I like her wording in describing things. But there was a lack of description of things, and also, what was the point of this book? Although I did like the plot of who actually wrote her favorite book, so that's a spoiler. Who she thinks wrote her favorite book wasn't actually who wrote it. Yeah, I like that part. That was fun. Although I think the reasoning for not having the actual author as the author of the book is a poo-poo. No. Anyway, I don't think, let me see. Do we have a second book in the works? Expected 2025, so I guess sometime this year. I think that book will not be featured in this video, so yeah, we'll see what happens now. I don't know. I guess this is a video with mixed books, I suppose. What am I even going on for? Bye. Midnight at the Bright Ideas Bookstore. That was so aggressive. So, in this book, we follow Lydia. I'm gonna stop being aggressive now. Okay, so we follow Lydia. Lydia works at the Bright Ideas Bookstore. One night, one of the patrons hangs himself. Lydia desperately tries to get him down, but it is too late. In his pocket, however, she finds a photo of herself and her two best friends from childhood at a birthday party. Puzzled what this all means. Yeah, we all are. This man, Joey, that hanged himself, he has left Lydia what little he owns, and as she kind of unravels his psyche and the clues he kind of left behind, the messages, she also figures out that he has a connection to her past. When she was a child, she was in the house when her best friend, when one of her best friends and her parents were killed, while Lydia was hiding away under the sink. And soon thereafter, her dad took her away from this town. And yeah, that's basically it. She had a very tumultuous childhood experience, and now she's experienced this hanging as an adult, and somehow everything fits together as a big mystery. Honestly though, I was intrigued. I was very intrigued. I was like, how is this gonna fit together? But when you finally like have all the clues laid out, it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. But in the beginning, I was like, how is this gonna, what? How does this work? Honestly though, very entertaining, very intrigued by the whole thing. Yeah, I liked it a lot. I don't have a lot to say about it, honestly, but I did highly enjoy this book. Very gripping. Yes. The Woman in the Library. So this book confused me for the longest time, because we are sort of following two perspectives, but it's not of the same thing. They're not even in the same, like, world, if that makes any sense. So, firstly, we are following this woman who ends up at the Boston Public Library, meets these three other people, so four strangers are just meeting up, and all of a sudden they hear a scream, a death-defying, chilling scream. Events lead to other events. They are escorted out, and police are basically trying to get a hold of the situation. And that's where we take off. So basically, we are following these four people, as one of them could be the murderer of the woman who screamed. Yes. We just follow the one. What's her name again? What did we? We don't remember. So basically, we're just following the one woman's perspective through the friendship and whatever else they're doing. Now, this is the story that's not actually true. This is the book within a book situation. So we're following that whole thing, but then at the same time we are sort of getting letters. We're reading the letters from like a fan to an author, and the author's writing this story within the book. And the author is, for some reason, sending drafts to this person, and they are commenting on these drafts. So that's what the letters, well, the emails are all about. Now, there's a whole situation of that as well, like in real life, but we're following the plot of the story within the story in real time. This confused me for the longest time because I had no idea what was happening. I would have liked to have, you know, been forewarned or something. Just it's a story within a story, and also some commentating going on about the story I had, and it was a lot. But once I actually figured that one out, it took me a little while, I'm not gonna lie. Once I figured out what was happening, I really enjoyed it. It was a very good book. I cannot wait to read more from Sulari Gentill, as if that's how you say her name. It's a short book, but it's a thrilling book. I didn't get, those chilling, thrilling vibes that I'm always looking for, but I did find myself thoroughly entertained, and I do appreciate that. Yes, so highly recommend. Also, yes, I did enjoy it. So what you are looking for is in the library. I'm not gonna even attempt to pronounce the name. It's just not gonna work out for me. I don't feel, no. So this is another Japanese translated book. I'm kind of getting into that kind of genre. That's not a genre. Those kinds of books. For some reason, I'm just reading Japanese translated books now. I'm gonna judge it in two ways, I guess. I'm getting this tickle in my throat. I don't like it. Alright, so this book is basically a collection of 5 stories, like short stories, but they all, they're all centered around different people. They all kind of, they don't gather, but they all kind of, everything they do kind of leads them to the same place. So as the title would suggest, what you're looking for is in the library. So basically, I can't really summarize the different stories without like telling you the stories, which would be weird and just weird. But the basic gist I'm getting from them is basically, don't regret not doing things, just do them. And maybe sometimes you need that little push, like for instance in this case, in these cases rather, they kind of find themselves in the library, and then one thing leads to another, and they have this like aha moment where they're like, yes, maybe I could open an antique shop. Maybe I could get a job after retiring. Maybe being a mum doesn't mean my career is over. These are actually instances in the book. I really did like the general feel of all the stories. It's really that whole, like, don't go through life regretting things, do them. Even if it doesn't work out, just do them. You have to try. It's just that, what do you have to lose, really? Not a whole lot. You can do double things. I mean, you can be a mum, have a family, and still have a massive career that you enjoy. It doesn't have to be one or the other. Things like that. I really enjoyed them. They were really cute. Yes, the names, the Japanese names, confused the hell out of me. But basically, it's because I'm not used to the Japanese names. It's basically like fairy names, names in fantasy books. I mean, the characters in Lord of the Rings, despite having read them all a couple of times and seen the movies a couple of times, I still mix up the characters. Yeah. So I mean, You mean? Yeah. So it's basically just because I'm not used to it. I get that. And I don't hold that against it. It would be weird for me to do. As far as the translation goes, though, it definitely felt like a translated book. Not necessarily a bad thing, but like, there are translated books, like before the Coffee Gets Cold books, those are all translated, but they all read as if they were written in English, just with Japanese names and places. Whereas this felt where you want the like roundedness of the translation, whereas this felt more like square. This felt like, this is a translation. Yes, it is not English to begin with, but it's fine. I don't know what this accent wants, but yeah, that's me in a nutshell. I don't know what I do or say. It just happens. But I really did enjoy them. I do wonder about the cat though on the cover, because I kind of got like, there's a cat throughout the story. I was tricked. I didn't notice any cats. If there were cats, more than one, I missed them. So this cover lied to me. But highly enjoy, very short read. All the stories are all also very short. I think there was like, it's just under 250 pages. So for 5 stories, that's like nothing. Yeah. Thumbs up.